dude, like 3 o'clock departure means you've done all that, you know? It's like, don't start looking for your glasses, you know, at the 3 o'clock departure. But he's improved over 30 years of marriage.
The hopes of the world is saved. Michelle Obama has a podcast. Oh, everyone has a podcast. Any idiot can have a podcast. A barely literate comic book artist can just turn on a camera and start talking. Welcome to the Doug TenNapel channel. And you guys are part of my podcast. Maybe you'll start a podcast one day. You're allowed. You're not going to go to jail. If it fails, it's not a big deal. Same with Michelle Obama, but all the Democrats are going, oh, she must be running for president. Is that true? Let's take a look at Jesse Waters theorizing.
Primetime's been wondering where Michelle Obama's been. She snubbed both Jimmy Carter's funeral and Trump's inauguration. And last week, Barack went to a basketball game all by himself. Turns out Michelle's been busy working on a new podcast, and so far, it's been a flop. The first 2 episodes have been up all day and only gotten a few thousand views on YouTube.
Now, hold on 1 second. If you're going to start talking about views on YouTube, now this is actually something I know about. Let me get back to her podcast here. I'll show you what it looks like. Just because we're going to be on the subject, you know, you can go subscribe if you want. I think it's trashy. I think it's terrible. I think she's terrible too, but you're allowed to like her. You're not in trouble. So here's her numbers. Michelle Obama says she has just 17,000 subscribers, which is pretty low for a national figure, but they're doing a small, slow rollout. Okay, so you have to go easy on her, Jesse. Here's first episode 2 days ago has 20,000 views. I mean, that's pretty good. I have many videos that get more views than that. But, you know, she's Michelle Obama. She's like an international world-renowned figure. This one got 45,000 views, and this one from a day ago got 14,000 views. Now, those are okay numbers, but maybe Jesse doesn't know how YouTube works. So YouTube does not just, she'll take off, but I'm saying it takes a while for an algorithm to build around her and her audience. The computer, it builds and learns based on her people what they want. Is it a hardcore Democrat political channel? No, it's not. It is like a lifestyle type light channel, which is how Michelle Obama works. She's never been a big policy wonk. She's never gone out and given specifics on stuff. She's more like a talk show host, more like an Oprah, more like these are recipes. This is what my kids think. This is what I think of my husband. She's not out there going, John Adams said this, and this Jeffersonian theory on the Constitution says that. That's just not what she does. She's not that kind of a politician. I'm not defending her. I don't like her. I think it's dumb, but I think Jesse Waters going after the low views, I don't know, you know, to me, it's at the very least some kind of a cheap shot.
Half of them are probably primetime produced. But still, Michelle's spilling the family secrets, like how Barry gets on her nerves. Listen.
Barack, you know, he had to adjust to what on time was for
Because he was on that island time.
Well, but, you know,
Okay, look, that was her brother talking. This is Michelle. I don't know what she's doing with her hair, man. I don't like making fun of people's looks. You wear your hair however you want, but man, that stringy thing.
Got this husband who's like, when it's time to leave, it's 3 o'clock. He's getting up and going to the bathroom.
She's talking about Barack Obama getting up to go to the bathroom. This is an insight into Barack Obama. If he gets up and goes to the bathroom 3 times a night, he's just like me. Oh, okay. Now I like doing a little bit of fashion review too, because I like this shirt, this blouse on her. That is correct. It's a good look. I love black and white, and I like the gray. I think it's tasteful. It's not nuts. Clean. Let's go back to her. Never shred your husband in public.
I was like, dude, like 3 o'clock departure means you've done all that, you know? It's like, don't start looking for your glasses, you know, at the 3 o'clock departure. But he's improved over 30 years of marriage. But
hey, she also looks kind of bright and happy, kind of positive. Usually she's so glum and scowling. So this is a light touch on her ripping on Barack Obama being late everywhere. And really, it's entirely possible that really what people want is the wife's point of view of Barack Obama. That might be interesting to some Democrats. Again, I'm being pretty generous here. I really think they want to see her cook and do recipes.
That was you must adjust.
Michelle says her husband doesn't really like people, doesn't know how to talk to him, and doesn't even really care.
When a girlfriend comes to visit, it's usually like, you got to stay for 2 days because it's going to take us
So much
2
time to catch up.
days to check up. Now, Barack's come in, he's come out, and he's like, y'all still talking? He'll sit down for 5 minutes, be
No.
like, how are the boys? And the flip side
I don't
of my
understand.
husband.
Okay, look, she's bright. She's moving. I like the hair stacked up here. And again, that's a good blouse. Her fashion sense here is not as bad as some of her weird, frumpy, clunky numbers. But just looking at the style of this show, the rumor is, this is what Jesse Waters is going to conclude with, is she running for president? I don't care that she's Oprah. Okay, have fun having your little Oprah career. Is she running for president? I don't think so. I don't think she's doing this podcast because she's running for president. I do think Gavin Newsom is doing a podcast. He's a little busy with fires, being a governor. That is the Democrat Party still thinks Joe Rogan is a magic bullet for Trump. They thought Trump and Elon Musk went on Joe Rogan, and that's what made us lose the election. See, they don't want to look inside at their terrible policy, admit that their religion is wrong. Their cult, the Democrat cult, is wrong. So what are you going to do? You're going to project and go, our cult is right. It's just that wacky Joe Rogan popular podcast is so popular. That's what did the election. So we have to start building our podcast up with Gavin Newsom. Now, there's another cultural thing where everyone's doing a podcast. Everyone's going on camera. I love Victor Davis Hanson. His podcast is blowing up over at Daily Signal, getting hundreds of thousands of views. He's, to me, the most respected voice in politics, okay? But even he had a podcast for the last 10 years I've listened to that did not have him on camera. And just 2 months ago, he starts going on camera, or a month ago, and he's blowing up. So people want to see people on camera. And he's an old man. He's 10 years older than me. So I'm an old man on camera. He's an old man on camera. I did Doug Wilson today. He's an old man on camera. People don't care that you're old. It's okay that you go on camera and just be yourself. That's my opinion on this stuff. Man, I'm getting really deep in the woods with apologies.
Right, because he golfs. And golfing takes as long as the first session of it takes 5 hours to golf. He'll golf with his buddies, come back and be like, how's X? He's good. It's like, what'd y'all talk about? Nothing.
Hate to break it to Michelle, but guys don't get deep on the course. Normally, when someone rags on their spouse, there's usually a little love. Like, Jimmy, he never listens, but he looks cute in his suit. But that wasn't cute. Did she drop this podcast to distance herself from Barack so she could run for president?
That's a lot of speculation. She could be dropping the podcast because she's ready to divorce, so she's hanging with her brother. Maybe she has her own life away from Barack Obama. Maybe she's just catching a cultural trend. Maybe she's running for president. There's a lot of reasons to do a podcast. And this podcast, it's popular. It's not that popular. I don't care. It's not that popular right now. I don't think that's a huge judgment against her. I think it's good for people to go out and do podcasts, okay? She has a right to do this. Maybe she wants to define herself like a feminist. She wants to define herself outside of her husband, like she has her own life with her brother, and this is her product.
Every politician starts a podcast right before they launch their next campaign. Looking at you, Gavin. And it turns out Michelle wasn't the only one who had problems with Barack when he was in office. Michelle says the kids were embarrassed too.
Every year we'd have the turkey pardoning. And that was the one thing that the girls would do at Barack, was to go stand next to him when he pardoned this turkey.
Yes.
And it was cute when they were little, but as they got older, you could see on their faces in the shots of them thinking, I would just poke my eyes out.
Now, is this a big gotcha against Barack Obama, or is this not? Has anyone ever had teenage girls? I've had teenage girls, and they don't want to stand with their dad, even if he's the president of the United States. I have a huge famous career. My kids could care less, especially when they're teens. You're going to go so all she's saying here is how her kids are normal. So there may be a gotcha moment in this podcast. This ain't it. This ain't it yet, Jesse. Now here on her having a little too much sway, this is CNN speculating. Is she doing a run for president?
Michelle Obama, what is her future? Because last we checked, Democrats are in the desert. They're in the wilderness.
Thank you for that. We agree. We love that. Keep the Democrats down. Keep your boot on their head. Put their face in the poo-poo. Yeah, Democrats are in the wilderness. Good. You're not going to find your way back. Stay lost. Hope you don't find water, figuratively.
And Michelle Obama, she is at the top of the pile.
Okay, we're going to look at the pile here. This is I'll be merciful. But look, Michelle Obama, 50% popularity as a Democrat candidate against Trump, 39%. This is among registered voters. Margin of error, 3 points. She smears Joe Biden at 40%. She smears Kamala Harris at 42%. By the way, against Kamala Harris, Trump does 43%. He does much better. He does 13 points better against Kamala Harris than against Michelle Obama because Kamala Harris is kryptonite. Voters run from her. Democrats, you picked wrong. You're terrible. Even Biden over there, they're 40-40. They're tied. So Democrats appear to like Michelle Obama a whole lot more than Trump. Let's go down to Gavin Newsom there, 39% to 42%. Again, he's getting beaten by Trump. Gretchen Whitmer, 36 points. She's down there. Andy Bashir, I don't even know who he is, 36 points. J.B. Pritzker, 34 points. I think those are just name recognition problems. Okay. So I don't think this Michelle podcast is the first step toward a presidency. I think they'd roll her out different. I think it would be a political podcast. It would be talking about issues because the Democrats do not have issues on their side. Let me show you this guy.
Democratic Party has a problem with the messenger. I think they have a problem with the messaging. I think that people aren't buying what they're selling. People don't want open borders. People want law and order. People want jobs. They want economic development. And I think basically that's why President Trump won. And I think that's why we held the majority in the Congress. And I think that basically it's not their messenger, it's their messaging.
Although
people don't like their message.
Who are better at being the messenger and the message than Michelle Obama. I mean,
But her message is always soft. What political wonk issue has Michelle ever backed? She can't go out there and talk about tax policy. She can go out there and sell her juice company, but she's not considered someone who's like, it'd be like Melania Trump. Okay. Do you want to hear Melania Trump talk about the tax code? She does not, they're not, the first lady especially, but Michelle especially is not big on politics. And like that guy said, the Democrat Party doesn't have a problem with the presenter, the face. They're going, let's get a face to run these loser topics, transing kids, open borders. Is that not the bigger problem no matter who they ran? It's their policy. Their party is dead because of what they represent, not because of they're trying to, get that fashionable face. Now, here's just, I found this fun little clip. This is back when Elon Musk was the Democrats' favorite. Here he is walking around with Barack Obama giving him a tour.
The patches you see there, it's actually bonded on special thermal protection because the real big breakthrough that's needed with rocketry is a truly reusable rocket.
He's explaining rockets. Look at Elon Musk in a tie. When was the last time he wore an ugly brown suit and a tie? So this is back in the Barack Obama days. He's giving him the full tour. I'm just going to scrub through this of SpaceX. And Barack Obama loves him. Look at these buddies. But Barack, you could have had Doge. Just like Trump is buddies with Elon, you could have had Elon, but you guys demonized him and attacked his companies instead and threatened his ability to go to Mars, which is his big life goal. So what do you guys think? Are you agreeing with me? Do you agree with me that Michelle Obama, this is not a presidential run podcast? This is just her jumping on a trend. Or do you agree with Jesse Waters and CNN that this could be a presidential run podcast? Do you think just because Michelle Obama is the #1 Democrat, remember, she could have jumped in the last election too. She wanted nothing to do with it. She doesn't want to do it. So do you guys believe she wants to do it now? Is she going to run? I'm Doug TenNapel. This is the Doug TenNapel channel. Thanks for watching.